I like to do reflections at the end of each year to remember where I've come from, where I am, and where I'm going. This past year, 2021, has definitely been a polarizing year. There have been some really amazing moments in it, some things that have gone really well, as well as some things that have gone poorly, some things that I'm not proud of and that I want to change in the future. So this video is about the good and the bad in the past year for me, but first, a word from our sponsor. I'd like to thank DoorDash for sponsoring this video. Has this ever happened to you? I'm studying so hard for my finals, but it's late at night, and my tummy is rumbling with pangs of hunger. Whatever shall I do? Don't worry. DoorDash is here to save the day with DashPass. DashPass is DoorDash's membership with some pretty awesome perks, including $0 food delivery and great savings, averaging out to about $5 on each order, which means that your membership pays for itself after only 2 orders on average. That scenario was real life for me the other day. I was stuck in my dorm studying for my neuro final the next day, and I knew I didn't really have time to go out and get food. I knew the dining halls were closed and my dorm doesn't have a kitchen, so I couldn't make food. So I ordered food using DashPass. I found a restaurant with DashPass that was calling my name, picked out some food, and placed my order. I saved $5.68, which is pretty great. I got my food well before I expected it, and it was awesome.
Thank you, appreciate it. Have a good one.
The sushi kept me going, it got me fueled, it got me through that final, which I'm pretty sure I aced. And DashPass is not just about ordering food for delivery, but it's also super valuable when ordering food for pickup, or when ordering things like groceries, pet food, etc. DoorDash lets you do all of these things, and with DashPass you get exclusive savings, free items, and exclusive offers regularly. The average DashPass user saves $38 every month, and you can cancel at any time. With a 30-day free trial, it's a pretty awesome deal. So whether you're studying for finals and need food delivered to keep you going, or you want to take out from a local restaurant to support local businesses, or you just want to pick up groceries for your regular shopping, but you want it done in a more convenient way and you want exclusive savings, DashPass might be a great option for you. And to get started with DashPass today, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial with the link in my description. And it could end up saving you a bunch of money. So starting off, talking about some of the good things that happened this year, I finished my degree, which is pretty awesome. I haven't graduated yet. I still need to finish my final semester of college, and I'll graduate in May if all goes well and I pass my 4 courses. But I finished every requirement that I need to graduate with honors in computer science and with a minor in mind, brain, and behavior, which is like psychology meets neuroscience. And I started out this year as a junior taking online courses, and I finished it as a senior taking in-person courses. And that's a huge difference. It's been so much better to be back in person, to be able to see my classmates, to be able to talk to them, to make new friends, rather than kind of sitting in a Zoom where everyone has their cameras off. I definitely learned a lot during online school, maybe even more than in in-person school because I was forced so much to focus on what the lecturer was saying. But in terms of my overall well-being, being back in school in person, I've just been so much happier. And on that note, 2021 has been a world of a difference from 2020 in terms of my social life. I spent pretty much all of 2020 indoors looking at a computer screen, and it made me really sad. I was really lonely. I had a really hard time. I think a lot of people did. And certainly some of those aspects remain. There are a lot of things that are still online, but I was really, really lucky with how Harvard handled the pandemic. I felt really comfortable. I'm fully vaccinated. I have 3 doses of Pfizer now in my body. Harvard gave us regular PCR tests, which was amazing knowing that everyone had that. We obviously wore masks when in an indoor setting, so I felt really safe going back in person, being around people, and meeting new friends, and having experiences with new people and old friends again. I can't overstate how important this was for me. I mean, I really believe humans were not made to be solitary creatures. As much as the online world is amazing, it can't fully replace in-person interaction, and so I was really lucky to be able to have that interaction this year. And like I said, I'm now fully vaccinated and boosted, which is an amazing thing. In terms of health anxiety surrounding COVID, at the start of 2020, I had no doses of the vaccine. I was really scared, and rightfully so. And I remain cautious. I still continue to wear masks, wash my hands, and avoid large indoor gatherings. But I can have that experience of like being a young person around new people, making new friends again. And so adding all these things up, the real note that I come out of 2021 with is that my mental health has improved a huge amount this year. I'm just a lot happier than I was at the start of this year. Granted, it would have been hard to go down. I was in a really bad place at the start of the year. But I definitely want to take advantage of the opportunity to appreciate this, to reflect on it, because I think it's a little bit easy to take for granted these things. This return to normalcy, seeing people again, being back in classes, definitely for the first week you appreciate it and then you adapt to it pretty quickly. So I want to remind myself in this moment as I finish the year that it doesn't have to be like this, that I could still be in the place where I was at the start of the year. All right, so some of the not so good components of this year, the bad. I feel as though this year I've been on a bit of a temporary lull in terms of actually challenging my brain in the way that I love to. You know, I love being someone who is really curious and asking questions and leaning into my classes and my work and having fun with these things. I'm much happier when I do that, when I'm being challenged in this way. And it has to be a self-guided thing. And just realistically speaking, I haven't really been doing a whole lot of that this year. I haven't been leaning into my classes, I haven't been leaning into YouTube, any of my tech work. I've just been doing the bare minimum. Part of this is absolutely that I've been taking advantage of the opportunities that I have now as a senior in college that I just won't have in the future. The social opportunities is what I'm talking about. Spending more time with friends was definitely a conscious choice that I made, and I talked about going into this semester. School definitely has less of an importance now than it has in the past, but that doesn't mean that I can't still lean into it, be curious, and have fun. A large component of this is really the fact that I've developed some relatively bad habits during the pandemic. Some of these habits involve technologies. I had a healthy relationship, or a relatively healthy relationship, with social media prior to the pandemic, but it's become really unhealthy over the course of these past 2 years, and 2021 was no exception for that. And so I find myself spending a lot of time and energy on things that don't bring me happiness, on my phone, on social media. And it's not something that I've really tried to stop. In the past, I've had moments where I've felt like this, and I tried to stop then. This has gone on for a while, and I haven't tried to stop it. I've also gotten into the bad habit of prejudging things that I deem to be arbitrary and not worth my time. This is especially true in school. In some of my classes, there were components that I just felt were useless, that I felt I wasn't learning anything from, so why would I participate in them? That's not the attitude that I want to have, though. The attitude that I want to have is, okay, I feel like I'm not getting something from this. How do I get something from it? You know what I mean? It's asking that question and leaning in rather than leaning out. I chose to opt out of some of these things in my classes, and so I built this habit, and that translated into my YouTube work, where I kind of chose to opt out of doing any fun projects and just did the bare minimum, and same with my tech work that I do. And I really don't like doing the bare minimum. I'm not sure that anyone does, because it doesn't leave me feeling more fulfilled. I'm not saying that I need to work more. I'm not saying that, I need to spend more hours for workaholic purposes. It's not that type of obligation. It's that I want to be challenged. I want to be having fun. And I want to be feeling like I'm working towards something and like I'm building something. And I just haven't been feeling like that. And so there's really been this lack of aspirational fulfillment over the last year. I haven't been having fun with my brain, and that makes me sad. Now, I can't fault myself too much for these things. These bad mental habits that I developed during a time where my mental health was really bad. It was a time of hardship for me, and for example, with my technology use, I turned to that as a form of escapism. A lot of people did that. In many ways, this hardship continues. As much as I can say that my mental health and my situation has improved over the last year, there's still a lot that's going on. It's still a pretty messed up world out there. This new variant coming in, it's a scary time. And there's a lot of things that I want to be doing in person. The holiday season is a great reminder of this, but I just can't. But I can't continue to use that as an excuse for perpetuating these bad habits. I really do want to replace them with good habits because, well, otherwise it's this self-fulfilling cycle where I'm in a bad place, and so I develop bad habits, and those bad habits put me into a worse place. I want to get out of that place. It's not somewhere where I want to let myself kind of fester. And so as I'm entering into this break where I've had this great time, and I'm a lot happier after this semester, I'm at home now, having the holidays, got some time off to reflect, to think about how I want to move forward. My classes don't start until the end of January, so when I go back to campus early January, I'm going to have a lot of time to think, to build some good habits, and to hopefully start to lean back into this work that I do and that I love doing. So thanks for listening to my reflection on the past year. Hopefully it got you thinking about your past year. That's really why I wanted to share this video with the world rather than just write it in my journal. One, because it holds me accountable, to be honest. And two, because I think, well, it's the perfect opportunity for a lot of people to be thinking about the last year. What went well for you? What didn't go well for you? And how are you going to move forward? I hope you enjoy your holidays. Hopefully it's a time of relaxation and reflection for you. And I hope that you're doing really well right now. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a like, to subscribe. I'm John Fish. I'll see you again soon.